This is a book review of the Bigfoot film controversy. Roger Patterson's complete book, Do Abominable Snowmen of America Really Exist, with an update supplement on the Patterson Gimlin film. And this is edited by Murphy. The original book author, of course, is Roger Patterson. This is the complete uncut version of this. This is a second edition version of Roger Patterson's book, Do Abominable Snowmen of America Really Exist. Little background on Roger Patterson. Back around 1959, he read an article in True magazine by Ivan T. Sanderson
what were deemed abominable snowmen, and they were the abominable snowmen of America. And the Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, it had just been named. The name of Bigfoot had just come about a year earlier, and that was in Northern California. And Patterson read this article by Ivan T. Sanderson and became immediately intrigued by this mystery of these giant hairy apes, or these prehistoric creatures, or whatever they were. So Roger Patterson set out on several pre-expeditions into mainly the Mount St. Helens area. Right around in the Mount St. Helens area and various areas surrounding Yakima, Washington. And he had various partners, including Bob Gimlin, who eventually later on became more semi-permanent partner. Well, for I guess about 2 or 3 years, Gimlin was his partner. He also took a trip down to Northern California around 1963 and casted the famous Larry Miller Road footprint casts, which were found by Pat Graves and on October 20th, 1963, and Roger went and cast them on October 21st, 1963. And there's a photograph of that particular footprint cast in this book. And I will find it and I will show it to you. Now, the caption says 1964, but that's a typo. It was actually 1963. Here. That's a photograph of the original footprint cast of the one Roger Patterson. Well, this is the right foot. I have a copy of this right foot. There's also a left-footed one, but this is the right foot. And Patterson was also an accomplished illustrator. This book is mainly consists of various newspaper clippings, and also Patterson publishes or reprints the 2 articles written by Evan Sanderson for True magazine, including the one that inspired him, the one that got him interested in the subject of Sasquatch, and the subject of large hairy man-apes, as it were. But Patterson was quite an accomplished illustrator. This is one of his illustrations of a report where an individual was in his car and a Sasquatch came up and shook his car. He never saw the face of it and never bent down to look at him, but he saw the body of it. And there are several stories that are collected in this book, including the Ape Canyon incident. And there's also the Albert Osman story, and also the Fred Beck, that's Ape Canyon, and also the William Rose story. So there's actually several newspaper articles, and also stories of past reports and things like that. This is the William Rowe illustration. And the book mainly consists of sighting reports and also of newspaper accounts, as I mentioned. And also there's the supplemental material in the back, which is edited by Chris Murphy. Now here's another photograph, another footprint cast that was taken on a ranch. Charlie Arian, a fellow named Charlie Arian, this was on his ranch. There's another footprint cast that was taken by Roger Patterson. And then you have the supplemental material, which just discusses the Patterson-Gimlin film and how it was taken and the background on it and things of that nature. You also have several photographs of the footprints. This was put together by Yvonne Leclerc, and it's just the this is from the second roll of film. You can see that there are footprints, and then you see the footprint cast that's in the ground, which hadn't dried. Then we see the Lyle Laverty photograph, the footprint with the mid-tarsal break. We see several of those. And they also show some of the clearest frames. I think these are the Bruce Bonney. I think these may be the Bruce Bonney color plates. And also they do there's also papers and things like that in the in the book. By there's papers by Dmitry Bayanov and Igor Burtsev, and also Dmitry Donskoy, who was a biomechanics expert. He was the chief of the chair of biomechanics at the USSR Central Institute of Physical Culture in Moscow. Also conclusions by Dr. Donald W. Grieve of London, and also the North American Science Institute, which is now defunct. There's their report. There's also Dr. Grover Krantz. So it's really a... and they also examine the hoax claims, especially of Bob Hieronymus. And there's an illustration of Hieronymus right here. And that's Patty compared to Hieronymus. Chris Murphy had to use an illustration of Bob Hieronymus because Greg Long did not give him permission to use the photograph. The photograph that Greg Long's wife Pat took of Bob Hieronymus attempting to walk like Patty. So all in all, this is a really excellent book. It's a great historical book. There's the great material on the Patterson-Gimlin film, supplemental material. If I were to rank this on a scale from, let's say 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9.5. I mean, this is a really good book. It was not bad. It was not a bad effort for a first-time author, that being Roger Patterson, and he really did a great job of giving people updates on various things, on various aspects of what was going on in the field, his investigations, and things of that nature. So you can get this on Amazon.com. This is available on Amazon.com. I believe it's still available. So yeah, I do highly recommend getting the Bigfoot film Controversy. Very, very good stuff. Very good book. Very historic. The historical aspects. And also the excellent supplemental material on the PG film. So I do highly recommend it.